Hey, Don here. Okay, back again with another live stream. Back to work on the Net Pro Max, and I just got excuse me. I just got Fedora 29 server installed on the Net Pro Max, and went in and switched to the desktop since I was coughing like a maniac. And just making sure my stream worked. It's really loud this time. Okay. Anyway, I went ahead and went to the page, to the URL where you would log into Cockpit, the Remote Admin App on the Fedora 29 server. HTTPS, which is for secure connection, and then your IP address, and then port 9090. And you always get this. I'd forgotten about it in Firefox, saying that's insecure connection. Don't want to report it saying it's a malicious site. You don't want to go back because it's your own server. It's good, but you have to go to advanced down here, and it says that it has an invalid security certificate. It is not trusted because the issuer certificate is unknown. In other words, it's not VeriSign or somebody that you paid to make you a certificate. The server might not be sending the appropriate intermediate certificates, and additional root certificate may be needed to be imported. The certificate is only valid for the following names: bishopco.local.domain, localhost 127.0.0.1. Now, if it said something else there, you might be in trouble. Error, SEC, error. It's actually a link you could go to. Let's see what that says. I don't usually. Oh, there it is. Copy text to clearable. So there's the. That's the certificate. Okay. So that just took you down a little lower in the page. I didn't remember that. Okay. Add exception is what we want to do to that. Now you can click there and get certificate. I do that sometimes, which usually takes you to something. I thought it was going to go to an. Oh, there it is. It just didn't work. It's not coming up. Maybe there might be something there when we get this window closed. Probably the way I have Firefox set up, blocking pop-ups and stuff. Okay, so site attempts to identify itself with invalid information. It's not invalid. It's just not. We didn't go pay VeriSign or somebody out there to them to say it's valid. It's valid because we just install. We just did the whole install and it was automatically made by the Fedora Anaconda installer. If you're going to a bank or a store or something, you might be wanting to worry about that. Although sometimes I've seen that on sites like Walmart or Amazon that I go to all the time, and usually what it amounts to is that it's outdated. You look into it like this, and it shows that it's old. Sometimes it'll go on for a year. Some particular pages or sites or something, they just haven't went and paid the fee again. Probably figure that's good enough. That's enough for this year. Of course, the security is so important. So it's such a problem these days with so many malfactor actors out there. So, let's see, wrong site. Now I think this is just possibilities because it belongs to a different site. Wrong site belongs to a different, which could mean that someone is trying to impersonate the site. And this used to throw me off when I first started seeing these, when they first started doing this several years ago. Certificate is not trusted because it hasn't been verified, issued by a trusted authority. And the only one I really remember all the time is VeriSign, but I think there's more than one. That's possibilities. That's not what's going on. What's going on is it's a self-made certificate that's not paid for to some service to list it online as being a good certificate. So confirm the secret now, and now we get to log in. Let's see if there's, that JavaScript window didn't work. I don't have Java applets, and for security reasons, I don't have Java installed in my browser, period, or Flash. So, and the very protection system built into Firefox is using, that's their thing, not some other websites, using Java. So there you go. That's secure. All right, so we're going to log in as root, and I do not remember the password I just gave it, so we'll have to look at that. I can type this long thing, get it right. Okay, I got it. Now, this is our first login on the Remote Admin. Cockpit is the name of this application that's installed on, the Fedora server. Now, here's your first page, your system information. It'll show you CPU, percent of CPU being used. Of course, it starts monitoring when you get to this page. Memory, it's checking for updates right there, and there's a place where you can go and turn on automatic updates, and I did that the last time when I had Fedora 28 installed on the same machine with a smaller hard drive, and it did work. So all you had to do is just click the right thing. I think it's in here in this area right here. We'll have to wait till it finishes before we can go in there. And of course, I gave it bishopco.local domain because my site's bishopco.com. That's my main web page. And disk I/O in and out, disk in and out, network traffic. So it's just a constant graph. That actually kind of, well, it works this machine, the web browser, pretty hard running that, so I don't stay on this page for a long time. Performance profile, enable stored metrics. I clicked on that once, and you had to, I think it didn't, you had to go, it let me turn it on, but then it didn't work. I had to go to do some config files or something. I never did do it. I'm going to come back here later when it's done checking for updates. I do want to, first thing I do want is automatic updates, and I think you can turn it on right here, if I remember right. And join a domain, I never have quite looked into that enough to know what you're doing when you do that. But I think it's you're joining a domain, but it's not really for the internet. I think it's really for your local LAN. So intranet, not internet. So like if I had a bishopco, well, what I usually do is, well, I don't have bishopco local domain. Like for Windows networking, I would use bishco. That's another type of local domain, that you can join. But you can have a full qualified domain name and use it on your intranet even, and you can use it for both. So that's why I don't know for sure, and just hasn't been something I've needed yet. So let's look at the logs. Okay, let's see what we got. Now, same thing as with Fedora 28. Timeout too large, reducing to so-and-so. DHC client. So something to do with the networking. Failed to start, make cache, DNF. You would think that had to do with that, but it's time max 1. And reducing, so that's the only errors, and I kind of looked into them. I didn't see it. All I saw was it didn't look too big of a deal. Just let it do it. Failed to start, DNF, make cache. Now that might be something I need to straighten out. Clicked on it and it went to the details. Let's see. You might fix it next time after a reboot, and after an update and a reboot. So we'll just wait on that. You're going to probably need that DNF make cache service, I would think. Look at it later. My mouse has a right and left. It has 2 extra buttons. I mean, no, I'm not talking about, meaning most mice these days have a right and left click and a wheel. Well, mine has 2 more buttons, and what they do is in the browser especially, but even in some other apps, you can go forward and back. See? So that's how come that seems to happen magically. It is magic. It's a mouse magic. Storage. It'll show you what you got. Now this will be much better on an 80 gig hard drive than it was on the. See, I've got bishopco root, 283 of 15 gigabytes used. Dev SDA boot, 128 of 196 megabytes. And then it's not actually showing my home directory and stuff right here, so but that's going to be the bigger majority of what's there, Fedora bishopco, 73.6 gigabyte. That's its total usable space. The max stored drive. It's a good old drive. I bought this for when the year that the very couple of months that Windows XP came out. Been using it for everything, all different things ever since. It's old now, but it's still working fine. Server logs, storage logs, I'm sorry. And I really don't ever even look at these. So I'm not going to try to read them out. But it did some things there. Is there a number? No, there's not anymore. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I've installed anything to do with NFS anyway. Maybe it's there and I could add. Maybe sometimes this stuff is in here and you can't do it because you didn't install it, you know. But networking. Now here's something might be interesting. When I was installing, that installer saw this as a gigabit Ethernet connection, and I wonder if it was seeing the router or seeing the card on the machine, because it seems too old to have a gigabit onboard Ethernet. The firewall has 3 record rules, and it's on. That's the default setting, so I won't have to change anything for now, you know. I did when I was trying to set up the DNS server. Okay, now here's a little bit more about the logs. It is a networking problem. Timeout too large, time max 1. So it's got to do with network stuff. If it's too large, I probably don't have a gigabit. Well, it could be too big for the processor, but I wouldn't think so. The name server is what's coming through my router, you know, to my router from Charter, my service provider, or whatever they call it now. I just went blank. Gateway, and so on. So I'm not going to be changing, you know, I'm not doing a DHCP server anymore. I'm just doing a web server now, so I won't be changing much of this. If I need to, I might have to add, in this machine, can I click on the rules? I might have to add a rule to allow, no, it's already there, SSH, because I installed the FTP server, so I can get to it and you know, copy my website over and stuff on what all. But and you know, that can be a big security issue these days. But as long as you don't open up your, you know, your router that's between this machine and the internet, then they won't be able to get to it unless they break into your router, which is possible. And then a DHCP client. Let's see. So you can do it. Now it's two things. It's not just the SFTP and the FTP, but it's the secure shell. They could get in there and run commands on your machine if they figured out your password. So you don't want that open to the internet anymore. Well, I used to, well, I didn't leave 22 open, but I'd leave port 21 open and she had an FTP server. But people kept trying to figure out a way to log into it, kept running scripts on it, so I see it in my logs. So I finally quit doing it several years ago. I did it for years, quite a few years without any noticeable trouble. Nobody ever broke in. They kept trying and using up my bandwidth and working my machine, you know. So there's that, and let's see. Oh, allowed. So now the advanced services. Let's see if that's probably where we would add a rule. Yeah. There's a whole lot of rules you could add. That's pretty nice that you could just click a box and have it set it up for you. Going really fast, but Bitcoin, I saw that. DNS, that was the one I did. Some things I've never heard of. So mail, if you're doing a mail server, that's another thing that's just too big of a headache that I don't want to mess with it. Let's see, that was networking. Accounts, just have Don and root services. Now this is where you can turn services on and off, and you can see if they're running, you know, if they're broken or anything. No, there wasn't any errors giving me any idea that anything's not running. Let's see, what's that? Well, quit jumping around. Dadgum you. I hate these windows that do that. Alright. Well, I got to it. Okay, Y-bind servers. I think that was it. It probably didn't even click on the one I tried to click on, though. Yeah, it was Y-bind. Well, I didn't install it. That's why it's not found dead. System D mask inactive dead. So let's see. Time date server. Oh, the time date. Yeah. Okay. Probably don't need that particular one. That would be looking out to some server to see the time of the date. Not found inactive dead. But yeah, you want to look in here right away, and every once so often, especially if you install anything or anything, to see if it's working or not. NFS, inactive dead. I didn't install NFS support. That's another networking protocol. I went down to the very bottom and worked my way back up because it wouldn't let me. Every time I would try to stop somewhere, it kept loading more stuff, like a lot of websites do. Drives me insane. Amazon does that. In my watch list, LVM, activation early, IP set, IPv6, FCOE. I remember that for some reason, but I don't remember what it is. Daily manager. HTTPD, that's the Apache web server. It doesn't have anything over there, but it should be up and running. Well, there it is. Wait. Inactive dead. Oh, why is it inactive dead? That we need running to have our web server work. Huh. I think that's the main part of it. Well, see, now there you go. Now I've lost my spot when I did that. But so let's just go through the ones I know, like how many entries are there? I want to see if there's any that's running and that's just not something one-time temporary TLS key generation. Yeah. Okay, but it probably already ran. Yeah, the Apache server, that's a template. It seems to not be running. We'll see if we can go to it first, but it looks like it's not running. Yeah, let's go to it. We'll just do this. See if it pops up and just shows no website, or if it says it's not there. Oops, you went back to this again. That's not what I want. I just want the IP address. Still did it to me again. What's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you let me put what I want in my own one browser? Okay, unable to connect. Yeah, so it's not running. Now, I won't try to start it up right now. I want to kind of look over everything. Let's see what else might be. Yeah, very secure FTP. It says inactive dead, too. So that may have to be turned on. It could be that, well, I was going to say in the startup, but this is your startup for this server. This is how you set up your startup stuff. You have to go through, though there's more than one entry and they're spread apart. Some of them you need to turn on, some of them you don't. And I kind of figure it out by just looking through the thing. Let's look at the applications first before I go any further with that. No applications installed or available. I guess after that first update, after there's software updates right there too, that's where you turn it on, I think. You can also see available updates by going right there. Probably will go ahead and turn on that Apache server before I forget here in a minute. I don't think I ever checked my sound on my stream. Yeah, I did at the beginning, and it was really loud. I remember that now. That is not a good thing. Why am I not hearing myself? If my sound died, I'm going to be mad. Stream's good. It's green. Everything's turned on. Sound is up. Go ahead and reload that preview page, make sure it's not something to do with that. Although it all looks like everything should be fine. Let's see if I'm showing that I don't have a signal. I show to have a signal, so I'm probably okay. So hopefully it's a false alarm. Yeah, the page didn't show to have a problem, but it was not playing the sound, the preview on my laptop. So I don't know what. Okay, it's all good. I just got, sometimes it goes away for, and some crazy thing happens within some of my stuff in it. You know, my computer, well, sometimes it can be a cable, the Behringer VM, the mixer. You know, maybe I bump something or whatever, but you never know. But that takes forever to load. You have to wait on that. Sometimes it does hang up, and I've had to just refresh the page or something. Well, I don't want to do that unless it looks like it's hung up. This particular page is done. It's kind of problematic, I guess. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's almost there, but sometimes it'll just sit there like that. The first couple of times I, waited and waited, and I finally figured out it wasn't working right. And so it's sitting there like almost done, so I'm going to reload the page in the browser and see if that makes it come on in. Now it's not coming in at all, so we will come back to that later. Let's go back to the beginning and see if it still says checking for updates. And we do have a network connection and all of that. I'm connected to it. So that should be fine. Terminal, that looks like it's going to work. I will, that's where I'll be running my, first I have to copy the scripts over with SFTP. And there is one thing I need. I want to install Midnight Commander right now. Yep, see, so that's all working. It's got an internet connection. I remember that command now because I had to find it out recently. And I don't think that was, obviously it wasn't in any of the groups that I installed. And a lot of my picks did not get installed. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I tried to use that net installer in a way that makes sense to me, but it doesn't. It happily lets you select all you want, but when end result is whatever that radio button on the left is selected, and if it's in that right side list and you select it, then it installs it. It'll let you sit around there all day clicking different radio buttons and then selecting stuff in other lists, but it just doesn't install them because I didn't get my XFCE Desktop. And actually, I was looking at that. I was going to look through that applications, but it didn't show. It didn't show to have. I don't know what that's about. You would think it would show a lot of applications just the way it is, stock. If all I got was just a basic, I know I got HTTPD because I just saw that, and I know I got, I know I got very secure FTPD because I saw them both. So, and those are the main things. But I'll have to go and I'll have to make sure there's some extra. The last time on Fedora 23 when I installed it was Mate Desktop, you can't just install the Mate Desktop group and have it just boot into that and work. There's some more things needed for it to show the boot screen and all that stuff and let you log into it. I had to find out how to do it, do some research, and I actually made a video on it. If the video got all kinds of problems, then you can't. What happened? All the audio and video was way out of sync, and so when it's happening, I'm talking about something else, But anyway, I might look at that, and I might have to do a little more research again because I'm going to have to do it the way I did it before, several years back in Fedora 23 when it was brand new. I don't remember that now. It's taking way longer than for Midnight Commander, a tiny little app. We'll just have to let it do its thing. I was going to say I could click off to something else and go back, but I don't think it would interrupt it, but it's almost done now. But I think I won't take that chance. That updates thing may just be taking a long time to search. Maybe that, the first time it checks. There we go. Do we want to install 7 whole megabytes? Why, yes we do. And we're going to install a Midnight Commander and GPM libs. Okay. And let's see. Warning. Bar cache. So-and-so, so-and-so. Fingerprint, so-and-so. Is this okay? Yes, it's okay. Don't worry. I mean, it's good. All that stuff's good. But you have to pay attention to it, and you have to answer right. And, okay, now we're done. So, I think we just type, now we got Midnight Commander. Okay, so, it's kind of, one thing in Linux, it's not super easy to just look through the directories and see what applications you have installed, because they're all over the place, basically. Home done should be basically empty. It doesn't even have any folders, which should be normal with a system without a desktop, desktop software. Let's see. Users share would show you some things. There's no media. Well, it doesn't even use that anymore. Oh yeah, you can't just type to find. That's why it looks kind of like Crusader, but it doesn't work like Crusader. So, oh yeah, speaking of Crusader, I don't have any need to have that open right now, do I? No, I was thinking I'd go to my scripts, but it'll probably be a while. So let's don't overtax this system, my streaming system. Got a browser. We've got our desktop. And you can also see, I can use actually, well, this is on this machine. I thought I installed Midnight Commander on my, oh yeah, I was trying to go to the page and I didn't ever start up this web server, get it up and going. I want to get my first update done before I do too much, although I thought it was going to be up to date. What I was saying, there shouldn't be much of anything since I installed from what I thought installed from the newest packages. Yeah, USR, user, whoops, I did something, hit the wrong thing. User share will kind of tell you what some of the apps that are in there. Backup PC, Anaconda, Cockpit, that's the one we're using right now. Emacs, that's a terminal command line text editor. Buy should be in there, and of course I just installed Midnight Commander. It may have one, might be in here. And ISW, I think that might be a text-based web browser. There is some Java support in there. You got to have some Java to do a lot of things, But I don't put the extra Java plugins in my browsers anymore. MC, Midnight Commander, this is what we're running right now. I would have never thought the way to install Midnight Commander would be just MC. So I had to go look it up to figure that one out. MySpell, Nano, that's another text editor. That works in the terminal too. It's easier to use than the other one. Whatever, I forgot the name already. Plymouth. Now that's the boot screen that I was saying. Okay. Saying probably isn't there. SE Linux is there. Good. Some of like I said, some of this stuff. And I was thinking, now no XFCE, so probably it didn't get installed. There's a command you can run. Let's see. How do you get out of, oh, it's F10 to quit. So I'm just going to quit it for now because I don't think I need it right now. Okay, of course I could do DNF update from right there, but let's go ahead and use the interface. It's finally, yes, there you go, right there. System is up to date. It finally got done. I want to turn on automatic updates, and it's going to have to be installed, and it's checking right now. Okay, install. There we go. And that is all there is to getting your server to automatically update itself. And there may be reasons in certain, as they say, production environments not to do that because updates can break things. But for me, especially if you don't have, the only problem I ever had with automatic updates is when I used to install. I'll finish my sentence. When I used to install proprietary video drivers, and I didn't know anything about ACMods and KMods, kernel mods that make the kernel updates wait until there is an update for that video driver before it installs. And I didn't have them installed. I didn't know about them, and it would break the sometimes it would break your GUI and you'd have a black screen. Of course, I was real new to Linux, so that was a lot of work trying to figure that out. I always need another machine, or back then I dual booted, so you need something you can boot into to read, get on and look at Google or whatever and look it up. But anyway, I'd never really played games or anything hardly at all. I didn't really even need all that 3D stuff. Now, most of especially the NVIDIA drivers with Linux, that come with Linux and Fedora, especially, will do 3D anyway, so you don't really need the proprietary drivers. But there are other times when that can happen. So, and other things like if you're into all the serious commercial server stuff, then there may be. Of course, you're probably not going to be using a Celeron machine, single core Celeron machine either. But anyway, there might be reasons why you would want to manually update, or at least install ACMods and KMods and stuff. But I want automatic, and I want to apply my updates every day at, I guess that's 6 a.m. When do I want mine to install? That's a little bit of a busy internet time, so I would rather do, I don't know the daggum military times. I'm going to say 3 in the morning. I believe that's going to be 3 in the morning. Yeah. Okay, that ought to be good. Can I do a screenshot of that? And it will restart the machine automatically, and it will freak you out when you don't remember what's going on. So if your server just restarts while you're sitting here working on it, that's what's going on. So don't start some big install of something or do anything important at 3 in the morning. What time? With me, there is no good time. I may be up all night. I may be up all day, early in the morning. So now I think that was why that wasn't loading. It was still all this time since I got in here. And oddly enough, I left the server on finished the install a couple hours ago now, and went off and had a little break, had a little snack, rebooted everything. And I don't think it started checking for updates until I logged into Cockpit, unless it really took a couple hours. But I think it started when I first logged in, and it's now there's been some time for you to see what's going on with the CPUs. Does work it hard sometimes, see, and this is without a GUI. And I keep going back and forth, should I GUI Desktop. Should I install XFCE or not? But there are times when you're just stuck. And with it in the garage, if all I have is remote, mostly I'm going to use this remote admin. But if something breaks and you're trying to fix it, you're going to really wish you had. So I'd rather do it now when it's easier. I can copy and paste. I can do it from right here in the terminal in Cockpit, copy and paste. Or I can open up a terminal and SSH into it, and do it that way if I prefer a regular terminal. But where is the little update thing up here? Oh, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't even show anything once it's done checking for updates. It sure doesn't. Okay, now the next thing I want is, let's see, it should show that no, I guess it'll wait till it notice it. Well, it was up to date. It didn't have to do any updates, but when it gets some, it'll reboot if it's needed, and then it'll show that it updated and rebooted. Now let's go to see if applications. This thing here. Oh, let's try the reload. Maybe there's, you need to do that just like in other application monitors applications. Software, you may not see anything until you reload. I got a feeling that's what it is. Taking a while again, but it's working. Oh, by the way, I don't think I remembered to do that. Oh, that's the weirdest progress bar I've ever seen. Get on camera one here. Look what's behind me there. Down in the floor, that little box. Yeah, I know, my camera's delaying again like crazy. Yeah, that was, I opened that up to make sure if it's what I thought it was. That's don't tell mom. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is because you might tell her. But that's something for mom for Christmas, so that got here. So, and oddly enough, it magically appeared in my room, sitting on my bed. After I went to the bathroom to take a break and everything, and when I came back, it was there. So, I guess she brought it in here. But, of course, I told her not to open anything from Amazon. Said, you can open this stuff from Walmart, but not Amazon. Okay, now here's what's odd. Okay, here's what is in here, applications. These are things you could install. Oh, well, I saw SC Linux, but it's not all installed. Okay, and then kernel dump, collect kernel crash dumps. Fleet Commander, manage desktop configuration for a large network. Oh, no. Diagnostic, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Diagnostic reports, collect and package diagnostic and support data. That could be good. Now, I do want the SC Linux definitely as protection for this thing, but let's first get the server running, then install that because maybe that'll make a difference as how it configures itself. I don't want it blocking my server or anything. And see, I still can't. So Apache is not up and running. Let's see, networking. Let's see if port 80 is open before we go and install stuff. Oh, we've got some more stuff to look at here. I don't see too much different. Okay, firewall, active rules. Oh, we don't have port 80 open. I had a feeling there was something I needed to do. See if we just say 80. No. www, secure, WebM. And I think I just want the top two, but let's see what else comes up under web. So you do, so you want, that's how, okay, www, I know that, and then secure, which would be HTTPS. WebM and WebM, I don't run, I'm not serving up any WebM. WebM is media. I don't have anything. I have MP3s and waves, and that's all. I don't have any WebM media. So, all right. Now, so we got 443 and 80. Is there anything else? Let's go through this a bit slower. I don't think you can. Yeah, if you click on it, you get it. Well, let's do it this way. Yeah, there we go. And the backup, I don't think I have that installed anyway, but all the backup stuff, you can back up over the network. That's what that's for. Cockpit. Well, now, I don't want that open to the internet now, and I'm already able to get to it on my local network, so I'm not adding that. Where did it go? There it is. There. So remember, I think, of course, this is not the only, this is the machine firewall, but it's not going to open up anything unnecessary. The main firewall that you have to depend on, well, it's the main, your router. Of course, that's also easier, probably way easier to break through the router than it would be for this brand new firewall in Fedora 29. That's why I may try, instead of doing the DDWRT on my routers, I'm going to see if I can understand and figure out how to do WRT because I saw the other day that it actually does automatic updates just like a real operating system. So that's the thing you need. Then you'd be as secure as you could get, with, I guess what, well, the hardware is not as important as the software. The software is what does it, let's see. That at least, well, I'm sure there's a difference between new and old hardware. But I mean, old hardware won't support some of the newer software, for one thing. Docker, okay. Yeah, I didn't go through here for very long. FTP, I don't want that opened on the internet, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get into it from the local network. I'll try that out here in a minute. Okay. Did I just click the wrong thing or what? Oh, I know I already did it. Yeah. It doesn't show it. See, it shows that you can select it again, but it's already done, so we don't want to do those two again. That's another thing. Oh, and that might be this. Okay, we know SSH is open, and we know all the ones that you can see on the left there that's kind of grayed out. Those are all open in this firewall. We know that. Okay, so now, yeah, it's getting me all turned around. Anything to do with the internet is going to be on your router. Anything to do with this machine will be right here, as far as the firewall goes. SCSI target, that was that's remote drives that you can set up. That can be regular hard drives or SSDs or whatever, or they can be virtual drives. K-admin. Oh, that would probably be a KDE admin setup. K login, that's probably KDE K password. Virtual machine management, LDAP. Let's see. This is pretty nice. It's actually some ways easier than setting up your software firewall and the regular GUI that comes with Fedora. Well, it doesn't have as many options, but this is a nice list and a nice way to easy way to do it. And for a server, I mean, it's what it's for. OpenVPN, POP3, Mail, plenty, Pulse Audio. Well, I don't need my Pulse Audio being got into. Puppet Master, I don't know what that is. I do remember, I think it's a server, a Puppet server for something. I don't remember what. I was going to say media, not what it sounds like controlling your. Sounds like it would control your system, doesn't it? Could be. RTSP, that's another media protocol, I guess you would say. VLC media player uses it. Samba, the Windows networking. If you're going to network with Windows machines or let Windows machines connect to this, you need that installed and running. Same, that's for scanning. SIP, that's for internet phones, mail, SMTP. Squid, SSH. Now, of course, I have SSH. It is open. I expect a check to be there if it's already done, but it doesn't work that way. That's one thing that's not nice about this thing. Telnet, you wouldn't want to do that. TFTP, neither one of those. You wouldn't want to do those. Tink, TINC, VPN. I know what VPN, Virtual Private Network, but I don't know what TINC is. Tor, SOCKS, Tor. Privacy thing. Anyway, I won't go into all that. Transmission for BitTorrent. Downloads and uploads. I'm not going to do that on a server. UPnB client. That's the more media stuff. Well, is that the one that's plug and play, wireless plug and play? I think that's the wireless plug and play stuff. Automatic login for wireless stuff. Can't remember now. Used. Okay. VNC, virtual networking computing. Now, since there's no desktop, I don't need VNC. Now, I've used it to install it. That's what I used to install it. That's what VNC stands for, Virtual Network Computing Server. Of course, it's the server and the client. And then WebM, WSMan, I don't know what those are. Jabber web client, that's a dynamic website type, a brand or whatever. I think Jabber's open source project. And that's it. Okay, so I don't want anything else. I believe I'm good there. Now we might get a little bit different. You might have to reboot before that firewall takes effect. See, it still just says there should at least be can put me a picture in there. I don't have anything in there. Unable to. It says it can't connect. So it should just say, well, it should say your server's up and running is what it should say. So it should say like welcome to Apache HTTP. So services. Now let's just try that. Okay. Seems to be a little slow. There it is. Apache server is inactive dead. Okay. So it just hasn't been started. It's in a. We want to definitely want it enabled. Don't need to do any of the other stuff. We just want it enabled. Start. Restart. Load. Doesn't want to start. There we go. Hit restart. Let's see. Disabled. Disabled, not disabled. So yeah, the restart worked. Now it's listening on port 443 and 80, just like I set it up. There we go. Welcome to Fedora test page. Okay. That's what we're looking for. Now we can upload our website. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to just, you know, if I'm going to install any more stuff on there, you know, like graphic user interfaces and all that, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go back. Okay, now it's active and running. Down there. And the service template, well, it's not anything you can do with it anyway. Let's see what it is. Service template. Initiate. I don't know what you do with that. Never had to learn what that is. Now what happened to the rest of the HTTP? Well, that's that again. Move that and it's just confusing me here. Okay. Confusing my searcher. And the one-time generation key, that's already been done. I know that. Okay. And it's running, and it should stay running. I don't think there will be a problem with it not running when I reboot. We'll find out in a little bit here. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. Now, FTP, let's see, that's already, should already be running. Wait, no it's not. FTP daemon, not running. Okay, we're gonna have to start that too. Start, enable, start, let's see. Okay, it's starting up. Maybe I didn't, it didn't respond quick enough last time. I may have started it and then restarted it. There we go, it's running. So we should be able to go, say to, I used to always use Crusader, and it just, I think they've actually dropped support for that. But I can use FileZilla as much as I don't like the way it works, because I'm not because it's bad, but because I'm not used to it. Okay. Yeah, I wanted you to hear that again. No, I was listening and actually got kind of hung up in the middle. Got two or three things going at once. I thought I had that starting up. There it is. It takes a long time for this app to start up. Do I have that? Yeah, there we go. Let's just go with root because I might want to go into the root area. And if you just put the port 22 and hit enter, then it'll. Now, do you trust this? Why, yes, I do trust it. Always trust it. Update my system to trust this. Okay. It's my server. Okay. Now it goes to the root user, and there's not much in there. And of course, for your website, let's see. Yeah, Fedora, I believe, is SRV. Now you see, sometimes if you just hit enter, if you hit enter like normal in a web file browser, do you want to establish a new connection? No, I just want to go in there. This is what aggravates me about it. Okay, well, it's actually already in there. So, okay, so it's not in SRV. I guess that's in Debang. VAR now. Yeah, I mean, you're already there and I don't realize it. So, it's, that's why I say it's not bad. It's just that I'm not used to it. Okay, now, HTML, var www HTML, it's empty. So what I can do is go to, where am I over here? Sometimes it's okay. I'm in documents. And now you can start typing. Once you get in it in this situation, you see, you got to be in the bottom window. Make sure you know what folder you're in. And let's see, Don's websites. You can start typing DonsDeals Blog. I want Don's websites, and then I want the Net Pro Mac image. This is just all kinds of things to do with my website. This is not my website, and I'm not going to copy it over right now, but I thought I might have that file I'm looking for. I guess it's not in there. And you can navigate with your keyboard and stuff, but up in I guess it's when you're in the top portion, it does that, do you want to connect? And if you're in the bottom portion, then it acts more normal. But the thing is, it will highlight, when I'm messing around with my keyboard, navigating with it, sometimes it will highlight a folder or a file to rename it or delete it, or it'll highlight it to rename it, and then it's hard to get out of it. I think if you hit enter, exit, I finally figured out you can get out of it. But so I guess I really need to be in, and you can't hit the left arrow key and go back a folder like you can in Crusader. Just so many things I'm just so used to. Okay, so I want to go to pictures then. So I get a little Larry, and I start just using my mouse, and there was a bunch of screenshots of my main pictures folder. How did that happen? Okay. Sometimes it just takes a while to respond, and I think it's something wrong there. I already know it's working though, don't I? I forgot that I'd already seen there's one particular picture that I just like to put on there so that I know that I'm on the Net Pro Max and not any other machine. That's what I was going to do. And now I don't remember what picture it was. And you can't, let's see, can you view these pictures? You can hit that and go to the top. I know I don't want the video card. Okay. Upload, yeah, you can't open. You can open it, let's see. But I think it will not, the viewer app it ends up opening it up with. You can when you're on the local side anyway. Well, it doesn't seem to be working. So if I want to open it up, let's just go ahead and use GUI because it works the way I want it to. Since I'm not going to, instead of opening up my file manager, the one I like so much, I'll do it this way. But see, it's hard to navigate that. Let's see. Can't read the stuff the way it lays it out. I don't know if you can change the... Yeah, you can't get it to where you can read it, so it's really not much use, and I certainly don't want to have to do that. That's a pain in the butt. where is search for images? Well, let's try a search. Oh, what in the heck did it do now? Yeah, now I'm wishing I went and got a Crusader. I don't know what it's doing. I don't ever use this, and now I see why. Go back to folders again. See, if you do this, then to where you can read it, then it makes your pictures smaller. There we go. Pictures. Well, now for some reason that's a lot bigger than it was. How come I don't see any of the other folders? Where was I at a minute ago? I must have been on my backup drive. Yeah, I was on the expansion drive. Okay, so I had to go to my expansion drive. But you know, it never did open up that picture, so that viewer, that onboard viewer there doesn't work. So that's something good to know. There's my expansion drive. Pictures, somewhere in here. What's going on? Oh, you got to do that. All right. There it is. Takes a while there. Yeah, I don't want it. I want it laid out like this left side is. I don't want it laid out like this. You can't read a darn thing that way. And it went off and did its own thing there. I'll have to at least do half and half so that I can read it. Let's do it like that. There we go. Let's see if I can type in there. Yep. Okay, at least there's only one folder for NetPro Max. Now, there we go. Now I'd actually like them to be bigger. Let's see if they get bigger when I do this. They don't actually get any bigger, so like that might be good. Okay, now I wanted to find the picture that I wanted to upload. That's all I'm trying to do. It's a picture of the NetPro Max. That might be it. NetPro Max running. A clear picture of it running, and you can see there we go. Now, I'll just do that for now. Now, that's why I wanted this particular that one's not too bad, but something about it's not quite as good. But one of the first ones I saw is a good one, isn't it? That's the best one. Okay. Get out of that full screen. Now, what is the name of it and all that? Can I do something like copy to? Yeah, let's copy it to my, I guess my downloads folder or something. Okay. Now, get out of this silly app. And we still need an app that we can rename a file with. I think we can do it in here. We need to go to the downloads folder anyway, so home, Don. My monitor has been off key there for ever since I rebooted the machine, and I keep forgetting to do anything about it. Okay, downloads. It's also in a weird order. Instead of the folders on top, files are on top, and then there's folders, and then I didn't get to download yet. There. Now that is obviously way too long for me to hand type into my I'm just going to say NetPro Max. And I don't want capital JPEG, so actually I don't want. When you're trying to do what I'm trying to do, I'm going to make it a small n, although I don't prefer to do them that way. I want to be able to type it easily. NetPro Max, now I'm going to upload it. No, see, no, there's what I'm talking about. Okay, I think if I click off of it, now I can upload it. Yeah, he kept wanting me to rename it. NetProMax JPEG. Okay, now here's the whole thing folder all while I was doing that. Test page. Okay, now what you can do, okay, I know I'm on that main folder. There it is. There you go. See, if you know, you can do that with images. And you can do that with HTML files and PHP files, web page files. So now I can always know for sure this is the NetProMax by just looking at that image. That way, if I'm, if I went to, like I say, if it was online, but I wasn't sure if I was seeing, that I have my port forwarding done right in my router, and I'm trying to make sure and all that stuff, and I'm going to it from online, I can still do that. So I'll do that for right now. And what about the FTP? Oh, I'm in it on FTP. So yeah, that's all working now. I got that up and running. Let's go ahead and get out of that now. That's all I really wanted for right now. Okay, so we've got that running, up and going. Now it shows active running, and I believe it will stay. I don't think there's any extra things you have to do. Okay, that's all good. Now let's see what all's dead here. A lot of things that are dead, but they don't. That doesn't mean there's a problem there. A lot of it's dead because it's already ran. It was or it could have been a one-time thing that ran when the machine was set up the first time. Sometimes it just runs on boot. Like backup or it could not be installed. I didn't install backup PC servers, so there's a lot of things that are going to show inactive dead. So you don't freak out about all that inactive dead in there. At first I did not found. Okay, dead. I don't know when I searched for dead. I didn't see those red ones, so I don't know why it's skipping them. It should just keep going, and it keeps starting over. I don't know why it's not going all the way to the end of the page. Maybe it's taking longer to get through there than I think. We see it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know why it's doing that. It may be because of how this page loads so funky. I didn't think about that. It does just like Amazon.com. I hate it when it does that. So let's click down here at the bottom and try. See if it'll go through like it should. Now I think it's working more like it. Yeah. The ones that say not found are most likely going to be what you haven't even got installed. But I see some that I'm pretty sure I don't have installed unless it got installed and by default with the Fedora server. So instead of going through every single one, because the majority of them are, let's try running. Let's do that again. Let's go to the bottom of the page. That is a stupid way to set that up. Well, that's aggravating. Did I spell running wrong? R-U-N-N-I-N-G. Just to get this page where you can, I did spell it wrong. There we go. Just to get this page to where you can just look through it. And see, now it won't work again. It seems to see that as a section. Now it'll do it. If you go page all the way to the bottom, then it'll do this. But I'm in a hurry here. I'm not really okay. Inactive dead running, cockpit service, and it's so far across from the left to the right that I can't really see what it's pointing to. And if I move my mouse, it messes up my ability to hit enter to search for the next one. So see, the biggest majority is not being used of what is in that list. So that was my point. I'm pretty sure what's important to me is up and running. So, although I'd like to be more sure, but this page doesn't work with a crap, and that drives me nuts. Why does that keep doing that? I don't want that. Quit doing that. Turn it off. What is that? I'm getting cranky. I ate a snack. Shouldn't be that cranky. Guess I'm tired and I do feel hungry again already, even though I ate a protein bar. Those usually last me for a long time. I guess it's closer to, I'm getting ready for supper whether I like it or not, I guess. Okay, so back to the system. I'm trying to remember where I want to go. Oh, it's checking for updates again. But it's not 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess when you go there, it's just going to do that. Okay, system is up to date. So there it is, yeah. It just does that. Logs, that's what I was wondering if it would show. It might show the I'm going to do a reboot because that's really what I need to do now, and make sure that all my services that I want running are running. Okay, restart, and then it's going to say how long. Well, I don't want to wait a minute, and you can put why you restarted it in there if you wanted. No delay, restart. And then I can click reconnect after, and of course I'm sitting here looking at the machine so I can kind of guess as to watch the lights blink. I can't hear it. I can hear its fans. Its fans are so loud I can barely hear it's clicking and clunking. That's one reason why it has to be out in the garage for me to use it. That's the reason. Well, that and any desktop running in here, with as warm as Mom needs it, this house, I can't stand the heat of another machine in here. I realized finally, I didn't think that IBM was making that much heat, but it does make a whole degree difference, if not a degree and a half difference in how warm it is in here. Right now I've got, well, I'm fine, but it is 78.8 with the window open about 2 inches, and it's cool outside. Well, it's, how cold is it? 41 outside. And but I have the Lenovo i5, the NetPro Max, the Red Black Ballstar, and the Dell 6000 laptop running right now. If it wasn't cool outside and I could open that window, I'd be very, very hot. It'd probably be about 81, 82 in here. Summer or winter? Well, sometimes in the summer when it's really hot outside, it's actually when it's the most comfortable for me because she'll run the air conditioner more. In between days, it's nice spring days, it gets hot in here, and in the winter, she turns that heater up. Unless it's really cold, I'll end up being hot in here. Let's see if that thing's rebooted. Yep. All right. Pretty fast. Pretty cool. Without a desktop or anything, it doesn't take so long. Starting to remember that again now. I think I say that and then it doesn't work. Yeah, so let's go look at the logs. Yeah, it goes right to checking updates. Okay, I'd forgotten exactly what it did. Okay, now we have a few more things. What do we got? Yeah, there's, oh, okay, the reboot. And then the only thing is that having to reduce the size of something to do with the networking, the DHC client file, I guess. And what was this before that? SETI S patch is exiting on SDD and EOF. Okay, I don't know what in the world that is. SETI S patch terminated unexpectedly. Audit D. It must have been running when I rebooted. So I guess I interrupted something that was trying to do something. Uh-oh. SETI S patch. A patch. Well, I didn't think it was installed. It said it was up to date. I had just got through seeing it. It said system is up to date, didn't it? Sounds like it was installing an update. Failed to start DNF make cache. Now you notice it doesn't say that again up here, so I think that'll be okay. It doesn't need fixing again. It doesn't need fixing. It just, I don't know why it didn't start, but now it's not saying that. These are previous boot errors. And the ones on the top is the same day, but you know, I rebooted, and then the one on top is the only error for right now. This new boot. Now, I'm going to try a command. I still wonder, well, I kind of have an idea by looking through the folders, but I want to know what's really installed on this thing. So I want to get to my files and stuff here. Now there's my group install files, my recent ones. There's my file I'm making. Okay. Documents, that's actually my backups of them. Let's see. Yeah, DNF scripts and app list files. Yeah, that's that same folder. Earlier I tried to go into there and I didn't see it, but it was there. I just probably didn't. I don't know what happened. Okay. Oh wait, maybe that does have what I want. Let's go to downloads. I don't really want to be in my backup deal and mess things up. I might move that to some other folder here in a minute. But DNF list apps Fedora 23. DNF group list. What is this? Well, that's Fedora 23 server, so I don't need that. List installed commands. Let's see. This may be just what I want. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so all I need now is this right here. Copy that. Go over here and run it on the server. And it'll give me a text file with a list of all installed files. And it'll be in temp, the temp folder. Now, rather than, muck around in the command line, I'm going to MC to muck around in Midnight Commander. That'll be a lot easier for me. Now, go to temp. And there's a way, well, there it is. There is a way to reorganize things, but that's fine. Now, I'm going to copy that over here on this. Oh, yeah, you have to use the keyboard. Let's go to home. On. Let's go to root since I'm in root. I'm in here as root. Where's root? There it is. I don't know. I started typing root and I didn't get in there. There. Oh, let's make a folder called make a directory. Oh, you have to hit. What do you hit? I think you hit F7, I guess. Whoops. Now, we don't want that. Turns correct browsing on and off. No. What we do want is it did both, the browser and Midnight Commander. I just want a folder for documents. Now, I keep trying to use my mouse. Okay, now we want to copy that as not 5, but F5. Copy it to root documents, preserve attributes, which is fine in this case. There. See, because that's a temp folder that'll be gone before you know it. Okay. Now I would rename that, to something to tell, but since this is over here on this server, I'm going to know what it means. So got to use the tab there let's go ahead and get out of that folder now. And let's go to home, Dawn. Yeah, I don't have any documents folder there either, but I don't want to do anything in there right now. Let's go to var. Yeah, var www. That's my website. Oops. See, there's the only only file I've put in there is I wonder why it's not showing that basic HTML file. Maybe it's actually not in that folder. It may be in some other folder. Because there's other folders that will serve up things. It may be actually in the so what we want to do is view this. I'll just view it. Whoops. Oh, I hit 3 instead of F3. What? Strip headers from the current news article. Do something with the current file. I don't know what I just hit. I thought I hit F3. But it's just saying all the different things you could do with that file, which I don't remember seeing before. That's pretty cool. Whatever I hit, it hit escape to get out of that. Okay, now let's hit views. It just says 3 down there, but it means F3. There we go. Installed packages. It does have backup PC. Backup network manager, package kit, ABRT, stuff, WADA, themes. Crony, got a lot of good stuff, a lot of things that are important and helpful. And as you can see, this is pretty much a base system. I'm pretty sure I didn't get this extra stuff I added. But that's why I'd look in here and see. That's why I went ahead and did that command. Actually, I could copy this, and I think I will. And then I can easily turn use this and turn this into a script and easily turn any other Fedora system into a server. That's another way you could go. You could install with a desktop and then turn it into a server, but you need to know what apps to install. Now, this would be one way to do it. Or you couldn't go by groups, but I'm not so sure that you're going to get as good of a setup as you have here. This is everything. Pre-set up, pre-configured. I'm not reading anymore. I'm not looking, talking. HTTPD is all the servers, you know, the Apache. That's, I don't know why it's called HTTPD, but that's Apache web server. And does have some Java, several things to do with Java in there. And we have, oh, wait a minute. We're, 3,637 of 9,851. That's where we're at. Now, I thought it was pages, and I was like, what? But it's applicate, you know, that's how many lines we have. They're all on a return, so, which makes it easier to read. So, yeah, you wouldn't, it's amazing how many little apps and dependencies it takes for things to work. But yeah, that's the simplest way I know of to find out what apps are on your system. Even if that's all you want to know is just what's there. OpenSSH, OpenSSL, Perl, lots of things to do with Perl. Wow. PHP, a bunch of PHP stuff on there. PHP MySQL. There may be more things to do with that came by default than I realized. PoleKit. Plymouth, that's the boot screen. Seems like it already has the boot screen stuff installed. So I'm almost wondering if I just installed XFCE, would the group for XFCE Desktop, would it just work now? Like it didn't back in Fedora 23, but would it now? Probably be best to do a little research before I just start trying things out. I'm tempted. I'm always like that. I just want to try it out. I think it'd be faster. And then you get yourself down a rabbit hole sometimes. Once in a while it works just like you guessed. Where am I? Well, I'm getting there. Yeah. Vim. Oh, I'm at the last page, so. Yeah, there's no XFCE in there. I didn't think there was. Okay, so I didn't get any of what I knew that stuff I tried to get out of the other radio buttons. If you want to know what I'm talking about, watch my install video. It's the one before this one. I haven't renamed it yet, so right now they're going to both be named live stream, but I will rename it to what's going on in the video. So yeah, that's cool. Now let's get out of that. Now what I want to do with it is I'm going to go over here on the other side. I don't know if it matters, but which side. But this side I'm going to connect. Oh, that's the NetPro Max image. This side I'm going to connect to, let's see. Forgotten. Just a couple of weeks, a week or two. Well, it seemed like 1 week ago, but all the commands, what do they do? You know. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's what I hit was F2. I don't want that. I want to hit escape twice to get out of something. View, make dir, delete, pull down. Trying to remember how to get to that top row of menus. I thought maybe view would do it, but that doesn't do it. That's a whole nother thing. Oh, no, it's not Alt Tab like in a lot of the old programs. Well, dadgummit, how do you get up there? Oh, F9. There we go. Now, pull down menus. So what I want is an FTP link. Shell link, SMB, FTP. Enter the machine name. Well, it's going to be 192.168.0. Let's get up here and find out, because I can't remember. Nope, not the virtual. 192. Oh, that's right. This machine doesn't have an FTP server on it. Doink, doink. So what I can do, though, is go with, I'll have to do it the other way. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to get to working on my scripts to installing stuff tonight. I'm getting really, really hungry, and I'm tired, and it is almost 10 o'clock. So, but I wanted to at least get in here and do some stuff, you know. Now, I think I can just go to server reconnect. Yeah. If I got the password right. I did not. Let's try it again. Maybe I'll actually look at it this time. I think I was trying to do it right, but I did a typo somewhere. Okay, now home, done, downloads. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I did that over here and then copied it to that machine. So now what I want is root documents, DNF. This is what I want. Now it needs to be renamed for sure. And I can do that if you kind of, you know, click hard on it. Installed apps list 120918. There. Now I'll put that in my, you know, different folder here. But I guess I can disconnect. I don't want to keep running extra apps on this machine while I'm making it work too hard. Oh, I tried to check my sound and I just realized my preview is just sitting there reloading. So we'll make it reload. You have to just reload it for real. What's this? Oh, that was my commands. And yeah, I have the newest script is the one I went through in my previous video a whole bunch there. It is what? That says Fedora 28. Let's look at that. could not start. Oh, I didn't want to start that. That's a script. Don't double click on the script. Open with KWrite. I'm glad it didn't start. It would have been trying to install all this stuff on my machine. But it says during DNF group list commands, terminal output Fedora 28 commented on. Why does it say Fedora 28? I don't remember doing this on Fedora 28. Should be. Oh yeah, I did too. The Lenovo i5. Yes, I did. I think what I did is I started from the beginning and made me a whole. Yeah, it doesn't have all the extra stuff that the one I was going through before. What did I run? Well, there's my XFCE Desktop and Creative Workstation. Development and Creative. I don't want that, but I do want LibreOffice, Administration Tools, Authoring and Publishing, the one that gave trouble in the net install, Books and Guides, Design Suite. Yeah, see, I would have to comment out a bunch of this, which is not a big deal. I just tired and hungry, and I don't want to do it tonight now. Editors. I'm going to want a lot of this stuff. I don't need any made applications, though. I'm going to do XFCE Desktop. Yeah, a whole bunch of this I'm not going to want. I guess what I did when I first set up my... I did me a script up for this Lenovo i5, and then I remember adding to it again later. So I think what I did was just I said I don't need to reinstall the FTP server and stuff like that. Live CD tools, probably wouldn't need that. I don't need the VMware. Python stuff is really already installed. Yeah, this is a way shorter list than the one before it. I guess that might have been a Fedora 23. I do think I won't go ahead and do RPM Fusion and all that, so I do that. That might be just what I'll just edit it for. Since it's Fedora 28, it's new enough. It shouldn't be outdated and not work or anything, you know. Because that's what I was thinking. Am I gonna have to run all those commands? I didn't show that. I don't think I have them in there. Oh, there it is. DNF group list. DNF group info genome. Okay. I was seeing what all commands I ran. XFCE Desktop, and that showed me what was in there. So yeah, this is a much shorter one. If this was the one I was showing in my previous video, then I just hadn't noticed it. It's way shorter than, say, the that's the Lenovo i5. This would probably be much longer. Oh, this one's got my, like I was talking about, it's too many lines, temporary raise the limit, view, turn off word wrap. Oh, this is the way I used to always build my scripts. And it still shows up as 2 lines, but it should really be 1 long line, I think. I think this is going to be, well, you saw how much was on the page there. That's going to be, turn on word wrap again. It should, if it's 2 lines, then it's going to be broken right there, and I need to get rid of the extra, the return. You can't have any returns, just spaces when you build them like that. That's one reason why. Well, it turns out that if it's my kind of hand type, that's kind of the only good way for me to do it. Well, since I've started out that way. But for the new ones that I've been doing from the group commands, let's see how much is there. That's a lot. That is nothing actually compared to how many's in my Fedora 14 system. And it all has all the exact, well, it's good to have, if you're on a 64-bit system, x86-64 is good, but the version numbers, I'm learning I'm learning more and more well, some of them you have to have that or it won't work, and then some of them you could just have, for instance, that right there, and it would install it, whatever version you need for the system you're on. So what I thought I might end up doing is making one script like this, and then another one without the version numbers or anything, and running them both to kind of make sure I get everything. And it probably doesn't make sense just talking about that, but if I was showing you, it would make more sense. So, and that's from Fedora 23, so I wouldn't want to run that on this new of a system. Same thing. That's why I don't use my Fedora 14 scripts anymore. And of course, they're Yum, but they will still run. If it says I can always change them, I've done that with some of them. Well, the Fedora 23s, I changed them to Yum install to DNF install. But well, I think when I built it for Fedora 23, because I built them. But anyway, and there's one from Mom's machine and stuff. I've been doing it for years now, and it's pretty good. It can be, well, like I said, I'm learning more about how to build them better, but my earlier ones were pretty down and dirty, and you would get maybe especially when you use the skip broken, you get quite a few little apps that end up being orphans because some other dependencies didn't get installed, they weren't available or whatever, and but I never noticed any problem with the system running badly because of it, but you might open up an app and it doesn't run, and then I don't know, maybe some of them I went ahead and if everything's not there, the uninstall may not work too good either, so I usually just didn't try to uninstall them. There's a big problem with uninstalling, and that is when you uninstall anything, GUI or terminal or whatever, especially in the GUI, it will come up with a note saying, all these dependencies are no longer needed, we think, but we're not sure, but we kind of think that they don't belong to any other apps. But of course, if you do uninstall them, then you'll break the other apps. And I'm like, well, I don't know. So I just leave them. I tried a couple of times, and I did break some apps that I really cared about. So then I just started leaving them. So then you get junk in your system. So if you get, really app install happy like I do, then you may end up with, you may get to the point where you just, I was making sure my stream was working. You make it to the point where you would just soon reinstall, after a couple of years of it. I usually stay with the system. I stayed with Fedora 14 until Fedora 23 because I love that system so much, and having it up and running as my server, again, I'm like, no wonder I love that thing. It's got everything. There's just, it's stuff that's not even available anymore is in there. So it's just that it's an older machine with less, dual core processor with, I think it has 3 gig of RAM, not just 2, but it's just, not near as good as a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. That's enough difference to make a real difference. Now, my files that I just did, documents, no, that was downloads. I don't know what I typed. Let's see, DNF, DNF scripts. Now, I always put the the ones that I can build I can build a script from that if I want to. Put that in there. And I just had it open, so I won't open it again. Excuse me. Open it again. And let's see. Where do I want to put? I'm just going to put this file in here because I thought to look for it last time. I didn't see it, but it didn't show up, did it? Down there at the bottom, even though it didn't change its date. That's what I like about doing SFTP. It doesn't change the file date, and that's so much better for doing backups. That's the thing, is backups. Because if it's a newer, it could be actually an older file, but if the date gets changed when you just use straight FTP instead of SFTP, the date will be whatever day you transferred it. And then it could still be an older file than the other one, and so it ends up getting over, the newer file can get overwritten by the older file. So I've always tried to retain my file dates as much as I possibly can. It's really hard to do. But Okay, so we got the server up and running, and let's see, well, we'll have to do F10. Where's F10? I can't get out of that. Yeah, I really do like, as far as remotely administrating a machine, boy, Midnight Commander, that's it for me, because it's just a whole lot like um, Crusader, and you can do SFTP and all that in it too. It's just that the only reason I couldn't a minute ago just now is because I have not, since my Lenovo i5 is the one I do everything with. I decided it was a little bit risky to turn on an FTP server. I don't have to have it. Sometimes it's a pain, just like just now, but all I had to do is turn around and go the other way. So since it's the machine that I run all the time, and it's always downloading stuff and connect, of course it's always connected to the internet. All of them, pretty much every machine I got is connected to the internet. But anyway, I just decided that it'd probably be best not have an FTP server running on it. That, and it's not much overhead with just that. I don't have Apache running on it either. That's enough overhead to notice a difference. So, and I tried every kind of server I could find on that Fedora 14 system, and like I said, uninstalling stuff is a bit tricky. So it's got everything on it. Of course, it's all old and outdated, but it actually doesn't take too long to copy my website over and all that stuff. But I think what I want to do, let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see. Install XFCE Desktop in Fedora 29. Oh, server. Okay. When I saw that first link, I thought, that's not going to give me what I'm looking for. Installing additional desktop environments. Okay. DNF group install. Oh, this is DNF group. This is just what I was talking about. DNF group list V. Available groups. XFCE. So maybe I can just run my script. Okay. And then they're showing install it like that. There's two ways you can list a group, like this with the ampersand in front, or the way I did it in my script, and I've already closed it. But switching the desktop environments, you do that at the beginning before you actually log in. This is really good. Alternatively, install switch desk and switch GUI packages. What's that? I never heard of that. That might be able to switch them without completely logging out, I bet you. How about that? Hey, that's a good one. I like that. Okay, where am I going to put that? I guess I'll put it in, that's not really specific to Fedora 29. Just want to make sure I can find it again. That's the thing. I guess there. Okay, and then this is XFCE. Don't think I have anything already made for XFCE Desktop. I might have one for Linux. Desktops. might be just Linux. How about software? Nope. Oh, there it is. Software Linux desktops. Missed it. There. Oh, what did I just do? That was not what I wanted. There. Software Linux desktop. So, live CDs and so on. This is all about Fedora too, so that's good. This seems older though. It's talking about Fedora 22, so I'm not going to go any further with that. This right here, let's compare that to my script because I really am wondering what is the actual difference. You know, you can use this searcher. Well, I'm in downloads. I think that's going to take longer. It's probably in the backup drive, and downloads in the backup drive. Here's where I was wanting to be anyway. Yeah. Install scripts. Fedora 28. Open it with kwrite. Now. Okay, here's how I've been doing it right here. Group install. And this is not old, you know. And actually, this way is the way I thought they quit. Where is it? That's not the command. That's just the group list. This right here, DNF install at KDE desktop environment. I swear I tried that in Fedora 23 and it didn't work. Maybe this is older than I think it is. This may actually, it may work either way, or it may be that this is outdated and it won't work. I just now realized just because I searched for Fedora 29 don't mean that it pertains to Fedora 29. And I don't see a date or anything, so I think maybe this is an older document. That's, you know, that's fine, but it does say DNF, so it's not really old. I really like the idea of that switcher because there has been plenty of times when I would wished I could have done that and I just never found it. The way I used to always find, how I found most of the apps I learned about was from back in the days with Yum, and you know, like Apper was what I really used most of the time. Actually, I used to use Synaptic back before. Well, Synaptic used to work in Fedora just fine. There was a few little things that didn't work great. It's really for Debian application, you know, software installer remover. But it was a really good searcher and everything. And I didn't know better at the time. I discovered you could install apps to make Debian apps, deb files install on, you know, Fedora. So I did it. And anyway, I used it for years until I started with Fedora 5, and then I used it up until, I don't know, Fedora 9 or something like that. And to where it got to where, or maybe after that, it wouldn't work anymore. Could have been around 11 or after, and wouldn't work well, and then it got to where it wouldn't even work at all. But anyway, what I was trying to say is I used that and Apper, and I would just search, and then I would spend hours poring over the results and installing. Sometimes I'd install 30 or 50, well, 30, 35 maybe. I don't know if I tried 50, but and then you'd get 10 errors, you know, and have to go back. Which one's giving me an error? But apps at the same time, because you just click, you know, check a box, install, check box, install. So, but anyway, I just by trial and error, just by exploring, is how I learned about so many apps. And I used to remember them better, but now I just can't remember anything. So I need guidance. So anyway, dying to try this out, to be honest. Well, that's KDE. We would need. Yeah, that's why I'd kind of rather use my script. But see, that's what I built it from. I ran the command, and then this is the newest thing I know of, is to do it like this: DNF group install, and I put the Y to answer yes to everything. Now I could copy that right there and see, put it in parentheses like that. I'm so curious. There's not going to hurt a thing to do it. I mean, there's no need for me to edit the whole script just to try that out. I am so curious now that I think I'm going to have to do it. We're still on the command line. All we got to do is just get it to work. You can't paste. Now, I don't know why it does that. Now, finally, I can paste. But you can always go to edit paste. Okay. Hit enter. And it will, I mean, I'm thinking it won't take, I forgot just how long it can take to install things in DNF. It's way, way slower than Yum. And that was one of the things they said they were going to make it faster and less overhead. It does seem to be a little less overhead on the system, but it is slow as Christmas. I watch it be really, really fast. Whoa, 1.3 gigabytes. Oh, and it's doing it. Oh, because I did Y install. I forgot what I had put in there. See, normally it would stop right there, and you'd have to answer yes. So several times you'd have to answer. Now it's doing really fast. That's cool. I wonder if all that rigmarole of it stopping and asking and all that actually makes it slower. Because look at that. It's whipping through like it should. So there you go. That's one way you can do it for sure. That other command, I think maybe it may be not used anymore with the ampersand in it and all that. It may not be the way they do it anymore. I do remember in Fedora 23, I believe, is when I was setting up my server on the IBM machine. I ran into that trying to install the desktop and having things not work because I was using that older command. The one that looked like that right there with the ampersand in it. So I think I'll close these extra pages. I don't believe I'll be needing them, and I don't want it, again, overworking my machine. So I think I'll close this too. I'll leave the script open. It won't hurt anything. I keep saying I want to I'm getting hungrier. What is it? Yeah, it's 10:18 now. But I started something else that I can't quit on now. Well, it's already at 158. No, wait. What is it? 158, 160 up, 459. So it's got a ways to go. It's just downloading them right now. And that's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty quick. It's when you're downloading these tiny little, say 184, 186 kilobytes, 13 kilobytes, and it's just sitting there. When you got a 200 megabit download and 10 upload, I mean, that just shouldn't happen. And I don't. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying about it. I just realized it doesn't matter when you're doing installs, but I'm in var www html. I guess I got there with Midnight Commander because I didn't ever, move from the root directory in the terminal on purpose. It's not going to hurt. But if you were doing something specific to that directory, it would hurt. But I just now saw that. I never really noticed that before, but I guess when you go navigate to different directories in Midnight Commander, and then even it leaves your terminal window in that directory even after you close Midnight Commander. That's the only thing I could figure. But yeah, now it's funny. I've never noticed that. If I have, I forgot. But it gives a range. We're at 170 to 172 of 459. I guess it makes sense somehow in the programming world to use that / instead of saying the word of. But it took me a while to catch on to that, and still sometimes that's not what they mean, when they do that. So, but I do know that's what it means in this case. Fumatic, was that what I saw? Keyring. Yeah, see, this desktop has to have a lot of stuff. It's in genome themes, so it's using. I did do XFCE, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Well, I don't have it highlighted. Yeah, I was XFCE. I saw. Did I accidentally pick the wrong one? But there's my cursor right there. That's what I did. So yeah, see, I did the DNF Y. That answers yes to everything. Group install XFCE Desktop in parentheses. So if you know the command, well, then you need to, well, that's just how you do it. That's how you do it now. I think that other one is actually outdated. So it's going to be a little while. So let me see. Anything else in my script? I could just be editing my script. Let's save this as, since I know that one works, let's save it as a new name. Yeah, I'm going to leave it as Fedora 28. Edit 12.09.18. There we go. Now we can start working on it. So I did want that, and creative workstation. Do I want that? Oh, that made it move over. What I was thinking is I would let that stick out so I could see it quickly, but that's fine. I went to it and put, all I did was put a number sign. I want LibreOffice, but you can see it because you'll see the D and F, you know. You'll see real quick. Creative Development and Creative Workstation. No, I don't need all that. I want LibreOffice. Administrative tools, yes. Audio production, no. I don't need audio production. Can't seem to find the number sign when I want it. There we go. Authoring and publishing. I want that if it'll work. Books and guides, yeah, let's do that. Design suite, no. Editors, yes. Educational software, no. No electronic labs on the server. Remember, this is the server. Engineering and scientific. See, there's a free IPA server. Mate applications, I won't need those unless I install Mate desktop or medical applications. Office and productivity, Python classroom, that's for learning Python. If I did that, I would do it, and no robotics. If I did that, I'd do it on my main desktop. RPM development tools, yes, because that way I can install the only really thing I know of that I need out of there, I don't develop RPMs, but I can install from an RPM, and I might not do that. Security Lab is cool, but it's a lot of apps that I don't know how to use. I know how to use some of them. There are some that I really do like to use, though, especially on my server. That'll be fine. It'll be quite a few apps, but that'll be the quickest way I can get those. And then I can, for instance, like ZenMap and stuff like that. I'll have those things. And I forget the names of them and try and install them one at a time. I just don't seem to ever get it right. Text-based internet, yeah, let's use that. And I'm not paying attention to the ones that are in between, and they could be something I want, but let's just keep going right now. I might look through it again later. Sound and video, yeah. System tools, yeah. And that's group info on genome. Okay. I just wanted to see what all was going to be in there. Let's see, what is all in there? Oh, okay. Available environment groups, minimal install workstation. XFCE, well, I've already got that up above there. Installed groups. Oddly enough, those were already installed, but then I put them in my script to be installed. Dial-up networking. Don't really think I'll do that on my server. Printing. Now that is for, well, that could be just to print stuff. That might not be the server. But I do know that there should be a basic, well, I Might need that if I ever want to print off of it. No, I'm not sure. I should probably look and see what's in that group. Multimedia. I think that's just going to be editors and stuff. Let's take the printing out, and then if I decide I want to investigate it more, I can. There's no sense in putting a bunch of extra stuff on this. Administrative tools, I think I already saw that, but that's okay. I'll just check again. ARM tools, don't need that. Build system, build group. I don't know what that's for. Seems like that would be for, well, that's probably for building apps when, like if you're going to install from the source code. So that might be useful. That right there, C development, that's another thing you'll end up needing to install some things. Cloud management, cinnamon. Development tools, which, do I need any of that? Sometimes you do not so much. I don't do development, but there's a lot of things that you would be surprised that you end up using. Packager, yeah, I think you might need that to install from RPMs. FTP server, that's actually already installed, so I don't want to accidentally reinstall a different one or something. That's up and going really good, so let's don't mess with that. Graphics, I mean, I might want a few graphics apps, but I don't think I need to install that whole group. That's quite a bit of apps, I remember that. And there is some things in KDE that I would want, which would be Crusader. I want that. And you do need some of the basic KDE stuff to make it work. Let's see. Well, I can't remember which ones. Live CD tools. That's possible. That is possible. I think I'll let them be put in there. What if I wanted to build another? I do want to build another server, a backup server. So yeah, I might be able to make me a live CD to install my server just the way this one is. That would be cool. It's a command line thing though, which is a little tricky to use. But there used to be one that would do it in the GUI, but I have not seen it. It's still around, but I haven't seen it work since Fedora 11. I guess they quit developing it. VMware, no, I don't want any of the VMware stuff. That was Python Web. Don't think I need that. And I can always change my mind and add and remove stuff. Some of that's probably already on there anyway. Tomcat server. That is to do with Java apps on your website. There's XFCE Desktop again, and written in a different way. Well, that's not the group. That would be just the basic XFCE, and then there's XFCE Office stuff. I don't care for their Office stuff. Okay. Genome Desktop, no Genome. I don't want that. Games. Available language groups. Don't need anything but English. Can't read all that other stuff. Okay. DNF group info workstation product environment. So I was like, okay, do I want that? So I typed the command to find out what's in there. But then it also can give you a way to install. That's why some of them are turned into install scripts. Part of the install script, I would say. Firefox. Well, it's already going to be on there, so I don't need to do that again either. And I think LibreOffice is up there somewhere. ARM tools. But that shows you everything that's in group info, LibreOffice development. I don't know why it says development, but why that's on there, but that's what it says. Group XFCE. Now there's what's in the XFCE group. Bunch of stuff. Network manager, all kinds of things I wasn't even thinking about. These are things I'm getting installed on there right now. All this stuff. Now then, group desktop does not exist. Oh, that must have been part of that command. I didn't hang it up, but I didn't type. No? I don't know why that came up, but see, I didn't type desktop up there. Oh, where's the command? Must have been up a little higher. Well, anyway, somewhere oh, there it is. DNF group info, LibreOffice development. And warning development group. So see, with the space, it was looking for LibreOffice group and development group, but there was no development group. Okay. So that was a mistake I made, but it still worked out. And then the other one said warning group desktop does not exist. Now, I don't know where I did. I must have done another set of commands. And I don't see it. Group XFCE, I don't know why it did that. I didn't put XFCE Desktop, so I don't know why it did that. Okay, so then why, and then update again. So let's go. Oh, you can't just go to the top. Now, I didn't pay attention a lot. I wasn't thinking about it. Boy, that's slow, isn't it? That's a pretty long script after all. Okay, so I'm going to save it because it's an edited one. Let's go back. Now, we're still working away. We're at we're only about halfway through. Well, a little more than halfway through. It's 259, 459, not 500. Well, so let's just go through this some more. Whoa, I hit the down key and it went boom, way on down. I guess that's because that's where my cursor was. Okay, so pay more attention to some of the ones that I skipped over and didn't even read. Do an XFCE right now. Now see, I can run this script. Now I'm not going to run it tonight. Remind me, do not run this script. You will have to sit and wait on it. You're starving now. You want to go eat and quit. Tired and starving. And it's 10:33. You don't want to step all night. I did sleep a little later. I woke up at 10:30. And I didn't feel too good, and I ate a power bar. It's not a power bar. It's a protein bar. And laid down for about another hour. I didn't ever go to sleep, so I said, well, I'm gonna get up. Now I started feeling a little better. It made me feel better, and about halfway better. And then I got up, and little by little, got my brain going again. I want sugar dust creative. No, I want that on the server. Okay. LibreOffice fonts. I wonder if I need those fonts. Now see, if I want to add anything, I'll need to do this. And then I'll probably have to, I think what you have to do, even if it's one word, you have to put it in parentheses. I'm copying it with the keyboard. So fonts sometimes are a problem when you don't have them, is what I was thinking. Just like this right here. And see, I love this editor because it shows you when you hadn't finished yet. There's something wrong here. And I don't know why they stay red with the parentheses, but they do. But but I love how it shows you, hey, you're still not quite done there. Normally, I never paid any attention to those fonts, but I've seen more and more problems with fonts, not available when I'm trying to run just a basic normal app. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say let's install them. Might be one of the problems with that authoring and publishing. Maybe adding all the fonts that are there around. Just says fonts. I don't know what fonts. Maybe that Hebrew one won't be missing. And if I've got it set to do skip. No, it's just Y install. It won't skip broken in this section. It does up at the top. It skips broken up here in this group, but I don't think it'll skip broken down here. We may find out. Books and guides, development tools, cloud infrastructure, Design Suite. That would have image editing apps, but I hardly ever mess with images on my server, even with a graphic user interface. So just mostly about, and normally I really don't do a lot of installing apps. I hardly ever install apps that aren't in the repos on my server. I do it less now on my desktop too, because it ends up, usually they end up not working really great. They're usually fairly new, and that's why they're not in the repos yet, and they're kind of buggy, or in development. Not necessarily, I don't know. Some people get offended when you call their app buggy, but they're still in development. There's still things that don't work right, and generally that's what people call bugs. So some people don't mind that at all. Some people, let me know about the bugs. Let me know about the bugs. I want to squash those bugs. I want to fix them. Depends on the person, I guess, the developer or the group of developers. Education, electronic lab, headless management. Oh, that's already on there. Now, if I was doing a server, I would want that. I'm starting to begin to think ahead. If I'm really gonna, if I can just install, say, Fedora 29 XFCE Desktop and then turn it into a server if my script is set up right. But I'll probably have to go over this 10 times to get it right. But anyway, I'm going to do that because I do always end up wanting that in a server. And I don't want Mate on the servers because the machines I use for servers are too old to run Mate. Okay, PM development. Let's see. Graphical Internet. I wonder what all that is. I'm not going to do it just to find out. Okay. Sound and video really doesn't install a whole lot. It installs, some basic things. I don't even think you get VNC. I think you get the ones that Fedora generally likes. And I like BLC, Group Info Genome. DNF Group Info, and then whatever group. I was thinking I needed to run that on something, and I skipped it over. Now I have no clue which one it was. Oh, there was no genome group, which I thought it would be. Then group list v hidden. Now that's the ones that that can get really interesting. So this is just part of the results of that command, so I'm just going on down. Available environmental groups. Now those are the hidden groups. Fedora custom operating system. Oh, that was on that net install. Minimal server edition. That's the one I installed on here. I don't need to do that again, but that's very interesting. But I'm not going to put I won't do all that right now. Let's see. Yeah, let's don't do that. I don't guess. No. Well, this is for a server. Now, see, it's got that little note, and I can just comment that out, and now it won't be part of the command, and it won't break it. Okay. There we go. Workstation, cloud server, KDE Plasma. Like I said, I like KDE apps, but oh yeah, this thing's going to probably have Crusader and all that up at the top. I just realized, because I'm just editing that script with and I already have XFCE in here from up higher, so I'm not going to do it twice. Just make it go check all of them again. Development creative, web server. Now I don't know if that's Apache or if it's something else. Probably is. But it said basic. Well, that was just the way they wrote it out. So I'm pretty sure that's Apache. why not just do it? I've been thinking about this for, why don't I do it? I'm just waiting for this to finish. What it's probably done. No, it's still working. We're getting there. Yeah, see, took long. It's taken way longer than I really realized when I hit it and did it. Got curious. Infrastructure, no, we don't need that. Basic desktop environment. That's not the same thing as the regular desktops. Anaconda tools. Now that's for installation. I don't know what I would do with that, so I won't do it. Basics. Group install dial-up networking. Some of these machines have modems and some don't. If I need that, I can just go back and run that command. Guest desktop agents. I don't think I need that. Input methods. Well, that all works just fine. I don't think I need any extra input methods. I thought LibreOffice was already in there. It is, isn't it? What am I doing? Save. Yeah. I thought it was in there way at the top. Yeah. No. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Because I ran the different commands in different ways, sometimes it gives you another. See, this is all a result of running commands, group list commands. Yeah, see. So here's the ones I had hand typed. Cheese, Firefox, ClamAV, GwenView, Vinegree, Crusader right there, Thunderbird. That's fine. There's not too much in there that it would bother me that it's in there. Phoronix would be good if it worked. I'm not sure it will, but I guess we'll find out at some point. Yeah, so I don't need LibreOffice again. Oh, hardware support. Now I know what that is. That's for a special real server hardware. I guess that's why those are hidden groups, because they're specific things, 3D printing, authoring and publishing. Isn't that in there up higher? Yep, right there. But if you don't run the list hidden groups, then there's some really cool groups you won't see. So, you got to try to have some kind of memory. Some of this stuff is duplicates, and it's kind of hard to remember, but critical path. I don't really know what those are. Development tools. Design suite. Yeah, a lot of this is repeats now. Pretty sure the editors, there's going to be some sort of editors done up here. Yeah, editors group. Okay. And engineering and scientific, web browser. Oh, that's web browser Epiphany, which is, I think, a lighter weight web browser, but it's not that much different, and it has missing features from regular Firefox, so I'll just go with Firefox. It's Firefox. It's like a stripped-down Firefox. If the machine's any older than this, then you might want something like that. I think that's what that is. You'd have to make sure. Okay, editors. Font design and packaging. No, I'm not going to design any fonts. Oh, and I took that out because I said, well, I already have the FTP server. So I'm kind of worried about running that again, so I'm not going to. If I really decide to install a server, I need to just pay attention and look through this and, uncomment those again and do them like that, bring them back into being used, you know. You can install Java just like that right there, a Java group, and get a whole bunch of stuff. To me, if you just knew how many years I spent doing this one thing at a time, I mean years, not months or weeks, I can't believe I didn't discover these group lists. And then, well, since I already knew how to make, once I realized I can make scripts of this, I'm still excited about it. And it's been over a year or two. Well, Fedora 23, before then, that's how long it's been since I discovered all this, but several years now. But I still think it's the coolest thing. I don't use it all the time, of course. I usually get my servers up and going and working good, and I set them on automatic update and just let them run until I decide they're too old to, till the hardware fails, or, you know, well, they didn't used to upgrade to the next distribution, you know, and so then I would have to. Well, I just kept running the Fedora 23 till now is what I did. But I think they're going to start being rolling distros now. They've been working on it. You may still have to tell it, yes, I want to upgrade. That's what I think may be going to happen. KDE apps. Now, sometimes you need some of those to make things work right. I'm wondering, do I need those? There'd be a lot, though. That'd be quite a bit. So I won't do that unless my Crusader doesn't work and they're good or something. You just want the basic stuff, because KDE is just too heavyweight for this old machine. I don't want too much of that KDE stuff running in the background. Legacy fonts could be useful, but I'm not going to worry about that unless I actually needed it. Of course, then, will I remember? Well, let's hope so. A legacy server. I don't know what that's for. Probably older protocols, like maybe NFS. I think it's considered older now. Robust development, live CD tools, load balancer. Well, I've already got that on there, so I didn't see that a while ago. I'm worried that even though they seem to be the same thing, there could be some differences and cause conflicts and stuff. And so trying to stay away from things that's trying to reinstall what I've already got. I think they're really the same. I think it's going to be the exact same. Only difference in doing it this way and doing it on that net install is that's just an Anaconda graphic user interface, and this is a script that I'm setting up after running these commands and saving these output as text files. This tells you a lot more about what you're getting, though, that's for sure. And any one of these groups, you can run that command that says what's in the group, and find out exactly if you want to know. That's why I did that, because I'm like, do I want that or do I not want that? And I'm tempted to just do them because they look neat, but I've been doing that for years. And well, I've got my Lenovo i5 into a state where I'm probably just going to reformat it, because I added stuff that ended up not working. Actually, the last thing I did, it's giving me a headache and giving me these SE Linux notices that I don't even want to mess with, because I don't even know if I want the app. There's a netlog app that I installed that I don't even want to mess with it. I didn't know if I'd known I was going to have all that, I would have just forgot it. And then there's some other stuff. I installed a set of groups and then installed another set of groups, and at I think it was the second set, it made my boot slow down and hang up on stuff that I tried to fix it even, and it didn't fix it. So I'm just going to reformat. I ran all the commands that everything told me to run, and in the system it was telling me in the boot logs, and they all said they were successful, but it didn't stop it. And when it's booting up, it hangs up waiting for drives to mount, partitions to mount, and it looks like the error out, but then it finally just goes on and boots, and all the partitions are there. Everything's fine. So I do not know, unless they're trying to mount them to share them on the network or something. Some kind of virtual thing that I didn't realize what I was installing, because I was just saying, oh, that sounds cool. So yeah, you shouldn't do like I do. Do like I say. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Okay, let's stop there. Okay, it's doing the transaction check. So it's got them all. Let's see. Oh, it's installing is what it's doing. It's checking and installing. So it's working away. We're on 30 of 459. So yeah, see, I picked something way longer than I realized. I should have known that whole desktop was not going to be. I was thinking, it's a small desktop. It's a lightweight desktop. It's still got plenty, all the apps it needs to make it work. So, funny on me, yeah. All right, so what am I looking at? Load balancer, yes, but I've already got that installed. I could do something to. Wonder if I could. That doesn't really make it stand out, does it? I really want. Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to use that. Let's wait and see. Yeah. Applications for the LXDE desktop, LXDE apps. Do I have that? That is something I probably would want. Oh, well, I don't want all the LXDE, like Office Suite and all that stuff. That might not, that might be stuff I don't want in there. So let's just wait on that. Leave that out. I already said that the last time I went through here, didn't I? Now I've lost my place. There I am. I forget to read. I'm just starting to mash the buttons. I think that means I'm tired. There's LXDE Office. I think I do want that. I think these are going to be more the administration apps for the LXDE. Yeah, but how am I going to make it into a group? It may be that right there, LXDE apps. Usually it's not, though. Usually it's not the stuff in the parentheses when you do these commands. Well, I'm going to do it this way. I just can't believe it's that long, though. A whole phrase like that. It could be that this is. I think I went through this before, and I've never seen any. Even though that to me looks like that would be the command that I would want. This right here, LXDE /apps. Let's go up higher and see. And I don't think that was ever the case. Yeah, see, Fedora packager, that's really it. Well, some of these I've ran before and I know, like development tools, development/tools. You would think that would be the command, but I found out that it was not the case. Yeah. I don't know, maybe since you're doing it with these parentheses, maybe it actually searches and finds the actual app name, which I still would think that would be the app name. But anyway, yeah. I know I've ran this script plenty of times, several times before. Well, at least once or twice. At least twice. And these up here don't have that. I could be all wrong. I could be wrong about every one of these. But I don't think so, because I pretty well think I remember trying it the other way and having it not work, and having to go back and fix it. Multimedia support for the LXDE. Whoops. Where is that doggone number sign? Oh, I don't want that. I do want that. I just hit the wrong thing. That does not seem right. It really doesn't seem right. Multimedia support for LXDE. It seems to me that my command will be LXDE slash. I may be goofing this up. Now, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, really? But I bet you, guarantee you that right there, LXDE Office, that would work. But I just can't see those ones that there's a whole phrase working. But I'm going to leave them like the way I think I need to do it. Like what I remember, I'm going to leave them like that. And if they're wrong, I'll see errors when I run it. And I think I will. Yeah, I'd see errors even if it skipped broken, you know. It'll tell me. And I had to go back and edit all these to probably the LXDE-media, you know, and like that. Which still makes sense to me that would be the way it would go. Should probably try running one first, but not now, not tonight. I'm going to go ahead and keep going the way I pretty well remember how I had to do it before. And if it's wrong, well, I'll have to go back and fix it all. LXQT, I didn't know about that. LXQT Office. LXQT, if that's a desktop, I never heard of it. Only QT I've ever heard of is the Window Manager, QT. Yeah, I think there's one called QT. Maybe what it is, mail server. VMware, Python cluster, Python. Don't think I'd be doing any Python programming. I actually, it's the only thing. I took a Python class. Well, I didn't actually finish it on the Google School thing, online school. When at the beginning when it first came out. Well, I guess you can still. I was going to say when it was free, but I think you can still monitor classes for free, and I think that's what I did back then. But it moved too fast for me. I think they've changed it up a lot since the beginning. I think they said one of the things they did was make it to where it wouldn't rush everybody so fast that people that, you know, I couldn't. Well, for one thing, they told you don't take too much at once, and I took 2 or 3 classes at once, and I couldn't keep up. But anyway, well, you can programming. I figured out, especially when I took that class, is math. I'm not good at math, so all I could grasp was the very basics, and I did get that. And I can copy and paste stuff and write a basic program as long as I got stuff to copy and paste in Python. And it made me a screensaver is all I ever did. So anyway. RPM development tools, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to go back, like I said, and try reinstalling the ones I've already got on there. If I know that I saw it a while ago, I'm not going to do it again right now. Later, if I try to build me one that could just turn any Fedora, distro into a server, then I'll have to go back and do this all again, painstakingly. Security Lab, I know, is supposed to already be on there. How far are we? We're more than halfway through. We're getting there. Can I get to the end of this before I get done installing? Does it matter? Not really. But I'd like to be done with this about the time that's done. Or before. Basic web server. Now that's the one. Now I won't run that again. That just told me something. I went ahead and selected one that said web server, I think. Did I do that? I probably shouldn't have done that. I keep forgetting that I'm fixing to run this on my brand new web server, and I could really jack things up. basic web server. I guess that's where I was. Try typing server. Web server. Okay, I didn't do it. Or did I? Oh, I did do it right there. Web server environment. Basic web server. That's the one I have already on here. So there is a difference. And I don't know what that difference is. So I'm going to comment that out. Basic web server. That's the one I have already on here. I'm going to do this and then comment it out. Just so that I know, so that I see it again. See, when you're editing a script, it tells you, hey, that's not right. That's what I like about using this kwrite. Web server, there it is up there again. That's up higher at the beginning of the list. Web server again. I don't know how to handle that other than leave. I could put my command. I don't want it run over and over, so I'll leave it like that. Group install basic web server. That is not commented out. Oh, I guess I didn't do it yet. Web server, basic web server, web server, web server. Just to help me be a little less confused. They're going to stay commented out anyway. All right, now. Web server environment, basic web server. Now that's how I got my Apache that I wanted. That's all that was available in the one that I was using. And I think there may actually be either different configurations or even an actual different web server. You know, there's a lot more than just Apache. So I don't know. I'd have to really run the commands. It's in there 3 times now. I'm gonna hit save so that I'll know that. Let's get out of that search. Yeah, I'm not gonna let it run. I'm just gonna have it there like that, but comment it out. Let's go see what we're getting closer. Software development, applications for XFCE Desktop. I think I've already, yeah, XFCE apps. I'm not going to write on that again, edit on that again. It would really be nice if there wasn't any duplicate things in here. But I think that's one reason why I told myself I should run my commands again and figure out which ones I want to run and which ones I don't, because some of these group list commands, when you run them twice, when you run them, some of them are a little bit different commands, but you get a lot of the same info. I don't know. It's not that bad, but it's definitely not ideal to have it listed more than once. I'm not quite sure I know how to get around it, though, because if you just list groups, you get a bunch of them, but if you do the list group v hidden, then you get the ones that are hidden, but the crazy thing is you get some that aren't hidden, so that's why you get duplicates. That, and if I see, there's a couple of times, that's maybe why some of the duplicates, maybe because I ran what is in this group, and so it ended up being duplicates that way. So that could probably just list the groups and list group v hidden, and that's all I should run, and then to build my script. Probably. Extra plugins for the panel. one I've already run, but that there, what did I just do? Oh, that's the desktop. Wanted the panel. There we go. It's done. Okay. Now, how much further do I have to go? Oh, a good ways. I'm going to quit editing on this because I'm really getting tired, and I think I'm starting to really just make mistakes. I have a feeling I'm doing the same thing over and over. So, you know, before I run this, I'm going to have to go over it again. I don't want it to check the same things over and over. I may have some of these wrong, actually, the more I think about it. I think they're right. Actually, I think they're right, but I have a, you know, I might need to do a little research and make sure that some of these I shouldn't actually be using, you know, LXDE media, -media instead of media support for LXDE, stuff like that. So let's just save that script, close it. I'm not running it tonight no matter what. Now, here's what I want to do, though. How am I going to do this? It all worked. It's complete. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and get switched over to my camera so that all I have to do is do my KVM switch. So I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and do the KVM. No, I can't. I have to do my, and I have to, and you won't be able to, I'll just tell you I'm going to type reboot now. Reboot now. Now I'm already on the camera, so I can switch to that. I accidentally somehow started. I don't know how I did that. When I picked up my stick to, I actually somehow turned on the, unless I had my finger on it and didn't realize it. Okay, there we go. I thought, uh-oh, is it not working? I wanted to catch it, you know, the whole boot. I don't know what I hit. Somehow I hit it. And it was really loud too. So, okay, now we're booting up now. Are we going to get a desktop? Well, let's see. And if that doesn't work, then I was right. And if I don't get my desktop, then I've got to do more installing some stuff. I might have had to run a few commands. Okay, now that's just the normal boot screen. So I hit a key on the keyboard to get it to show me the terminal output. Starting switch root. That's what's at the bottom now. And if I now it'll be installed, but it's just not going to it, you know, if it doesn't work. That's what happened last time with Fedora 23, and I had to go do some research and find out how to make it work. But we'll see. Plymouth boot screen, that's there, it's working. Nope. All right, see, it hasn't been changed. And that little quick explanation, see, maybe that didn't, you know, it just said, do that command, install XFCE Desktop. But maybe I skipped through too fast and didn't realize that didn't actually talk about the server. I just now realized, I don't remember whether I saw the word server on that page or not. So yeah, I installed XFCE Desktop, but it's not going to boot into it until I do the stuff I did in my previous video. And I'll look into that tomorrow, and I might end up showing a little bit of that video or something, or I'll look at it and then maybe find those pages again. So I guess I'll reconnect so that I can shut it down. Oh, I can't type. Come on. But yeah, so see, it's not as simple as it seems. It took me right back into the terminal. Let's see what we got here in our boot logs here. So we don't have any more errors, so that's good. Now, if we went into, well, if we ran that command again, I'm not going to do it. Then we would see, you know, we have quite a few more little apps to go with the XFCE Desktop install. Yeah, that script I was fiddling around with might have a lot of extra extraneous stuff. I'm beginning to wonder if I didn't get a little install happy again. Just being tired, so I might rework that again. We'll see. I mean, I definitely have to go back and finish reworking it. Okay, so back to the terminal. I'm going to go to Midnight Commander first. Guess I wasn't in there before I take off completely. Let's see, user share. That's where you see pretty good idea of what apps are installed. They're not all showing up in here though. Thunar, I don't remember seeing that. It might have been there. That's a file manager. That probably got installed with XFCE. Let's go all the way to the bottom and see if we see XFCE in there now. Well, I think it starts over. No, there we go. XFCE4. So yeah, see now we have XFCE4, XFWM4, X greeters, but X screensaver. So we have quite a few things to do with XFCE in there, but we don't still yet have what it needs to make it, you know, show up that boot screen and let us log into it. So it's there, just not all set up properly. F10 to get out of there. Okay, and just to, I could say shut down now, but I think I'll just go here, shut down, and no delay, shut down. Okay, so there's a lesson in how not to get, well, it's not how not to install your desktop, it's how not to get it working. Get it installed, but it just still ain't going to work. Same thing is with Fedora 23, but I have a pretty good idea about how to go. Excuse me. Pretty good idea about how to go about fixing it. Moved my mic and it hit my sound volume thing there. It didn't help to move it much. I just heard myself coughing. So, you know, probably tomorrow when I get next time I work on it, which hopefully will be tomorrow. Well, before I work on it, I want to look at that box I showed a while ago. I want to get that thing out and make sure it works. You know, I don't know if I'll make a video or not, but tomorrow or next time, whichever happens, that box right there behind me, that Christmas present, I want to get that out and make sure it works. So what I'll have to do is find the information, and I keep thinking I ought to go look at it right now, but no, I'm just too tired. You get to go, like I said, I have a video on it that didn't come out well because the audio and video was really way out of sync. Lost video frames. It wasn't, I think I was actually recording on the phone and it fouled up. I wasn't doing a live video. So it was worse than out of sync. It was just messed up. I can't remember exactly what it was that went wrong. It could have been a live stream, but anyway. Yeah, when I first started doing live streams, I wasn't using OBS Studio. I'd never heard of it. I started out with XSplit and some other thing that YouTube recommended. Neither one of them worked very well. XSplit worked, but not well, and the other one, I don't think I ever got it to connect up to YouTube. It was really hard to set up. But I did get my desktop working. I think I put Mate Desktop on it and then decided it was too much work for the machine and went ahead and installed XFCE. But once I got the boot screen working, I think all I had to do was just install XFCE and it just added it to it like normal. So yeah, now I have XFCE and a bunch of apps on there, but still nothing but remote admin. It's still not going to boot into XFCE. I mean, you might be able to type some fancy commands at the grub menu there. Actually, I don't think you can, because I think I tried that already. You have to have, I think there's just some things you have to, I think you have to not only install some stuff. Like I said, I saw the Plymouth boot manager. That should be all I know of that you need. I saw that stuff in there. So it may just be a matter of running some commands really to tell it to do all that. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. All right. But I know I've done it before, so should be able to do it again as long as I find the right information again. And I do have the links somewhere, my old links, you know. It's just harder finding them with them not in my bookmarks in Firefox. And if I put all of those old ones, those thousands, and it slows down Firefox so much I can't hardly use it. So I don't do that. I haven't done that. They need all cleaned up, get rid of extra old links that aren't even any good anymore. I used to just always put all my bookmarks into each new browser setup, you know, each new system, and they just multiplied until there's just millions of them. There's I don't know how many. There's too many, not millions, but too many. Too many. Each one I never realized until the years went by that they some of them have, I don't know why or how come. Well, actually, I still don't quite understand it. I don't know that I was going to say they cause scripts to run. Especially anytime you have the bookmark manager open, scripts will run. And I don't think they're actually in those links. I think maybe it's just native scripts that run in Firefox Bookmark Manager, and they hang up. What happens is they hang up and just hang the whole browser up. And it'll keep popping up saying, this is holding up your browser. Do you want to stop it? Yes, stop it and don't ever ask me again, which should stop it automatically every time. Well, it doesn't work. I guess it's slightly different each time it runs, but it may be a script that's running as normal, but when it gets to so many links, and links that are, I don't know. I looked into it. It was complicated, and I never quite figured it out. Except for that I finally did figure out you're going to have to give up on having all those bookmarks. So it's just like working with broken tools, you know, like bookmarks, software and bookmarks are your tools on the computer, and when you don't have them all, it's like trying to work with broken tools. So, but it gets, either way they're broken, so with them or without them. So anyway, there we go. That was 2 videos installing Fedora 29, and then going through it, getting everything up and running. You know, the server and the FTP and the Apache web server actually up and running, and then installing XFCE Desktop, but it's not up and running yet. And of course, I haven't copied my website or anything. I decided I'd wait and do that after everything is up and running to my satisfaction. Why copy all that over there and then find out it's not going to work? Have to redo it again or something. So anyway, that's enough of all that fun. I am really glad I got that done. Everything just takes longer and longer and longer than you think. So it'll be a few more days, I guess, until I'm dying to get that thing back up and running, get it out in the garage, and turn off this machine in here in my room. So, okay, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.